Capcom has had a great year so far this 2026, and even when it quote-unquote misses, there's no denying that this is the run most game devs would dream of. From Resident Evil 9 to Monster Hunter Stories 3 to even the remakes, Capcom's just been throwing banger after banger. Seriously though, even Pragmata, their game that hasn't even come out yet as of the time of recording, has a score of 86 on Metacritic, with the lowest scores found there hovering at a floor of 70, and that's because of its plot. Gameplay and fundamental wise, Capcom's just him. But between the release of Pragmata and the appearance of older Capcom games over on Steam, I'm putting on my tinfoil hat because we may be getting a Mega Man Legends remaster, or heck, maybe even Mega Man Legends 3 pretty soon. Back during the Game Awards last December, an innocuous trailer was shown featuring Mega Man Dual Override, a new title under the classic Mega Man banner. While it showed promise as a new title for the franchise, a few months later, the Mega Man Star Force Legacy Collection was released. Looking like a follow-up to the Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection released years earlier. One thing to take away from all of this is how Capcom isn't shy to remaking or re-releasing their older titles. Alright, the crumbs are there, but why does this matter in the greater scheme of things? Especially with Mega Man Legends? The answer lies in Resident Evil. There's this pattern with Resident Evil titles where mainline games get released after remakes, and while this isn't the case with Capcom's other franchises like Street Fighter, this is one of their only other franchises that have the same lifespan. Now let's be real a bit. While Mega Man itself under Capcom had been having a resurgence lately one way or another, each version of Mega Man is its own unique experience, where regular Mega Man is different from X, X is different from the Net Navi Mega Man, and Volnut from Legends is his own unique character. So where's the cope coming from? It's Okami. Okami is another Capcom franchise beloved by the community with its unique art style and gameplay, especially during its initial release on the PlayStation 2. But 18 years later since then, an unnamed sequel was announced during the 2024 Game Awards with events happening directly after the first game. And the kicker about all of this is how the original director Hideki Kamiya is heading it together with Clovers, a new game studio in charge of making the sequel, with it being a reference to the original Clover Studios behind the first Okami game. At this point, the copium is overwhelming and maybe it's even a reach, but sometimes, jokes are half meant, and Pragmata, Capcom's latest game, had an April Fool's joke wherein its newest protagonist, Yu, was dressed as old-school Mega Man. Don't get me wrong, I love it when Capcom adds in references to their IPs in their other games like Dead Rising not just having a legitimate buster, but even various Mega Man armors throughout the years. But you'd ask yourself, why show this Mega Man? But if you'd ask me, it's a litmus test to see how much traction it would have. Like, would Capcom remake the old Mega Man Legends games, or could it just be a remaster? Only time could tell. Going back to parallels though, Keiji Inafune, one of the producers on all three Mega Man Legends games, left Level 5 Concept, with Concept being a company founded after leaving Capcom and Level 5 acquiring it after 7 years in that company. This is what also happened with Hideki Kamiya, with him co-founding Platinum Games, which made bangers like Bayonetta. You know what else Okami and Mega Man Legends have in common? They've both been franchises for far longer than you'd think, with Okami being made in 2006 for almost 2 decades of activity, and Mega Man Legends made in 1997 or released in 1997, which at this point makes it active for almost 3 decades. I've been huffing too much copium at this point, but between the releases from Capcom, the re-releases, the remakes, overall faith in Mega Man and the timing, this all leads to one thing, and that's a Mega Man Legends announcement one way or another. If not, see you all in the next 5 years for the next scope video, I guess. For more content like this and other updates down the line, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.